Welcome to Are We On Topic Yet by the Wild Wonder Collective.
Where faith meets real life and nothing's off limits except perfection.
We're your hosts, Dr. Melody, Mama Viv, and yours truly, Angie K.
We're talking all things ministry, motherhood, marriage, mindset,
and the messy moments in between.
Here, the conversations are real, the grace is deep, and the coffee, well, hopefully it's still hot.
So whether you're driving, multitasking, or hiding in the bathroom for 5 minutes of peace,
grab your pen, grab your journal.
Or let's be honest, your laundry basket, and join the convo.
Let's get into it.
Welcome. We are in season 4. Can you guys believe that we have made it to season 4?
I can't.
Who would have ever thought?
Do you want to know the best update about season 4 for me?
What is that?
What?
We're back on track with our numbers. We're on episode 1.
I was getting ready to say, right? You guys were rocking with us at the end of season 3. You know it got a little funky on the numbers, but that's okay.
It was all over the place.
It was all over the place. But you still got the content. Hopefully you got something out of it. You guys, we are finding our rhythm again. If you have been tracking with us and you know we took a little hiatus, and I'm going to tell you, it's amazing how rusty you can get in just a couple of weeks. But the rust has rusted.
True.
So bear with us as we do these next few episodes and we find our rhythm. So guys, I am Dr. Melody, if you haven't been rocking with us, and we have Angie K. and Mama Viv. We are the host of Are We On Topic Yet? So thanks for joining. And we talk a little bit about, what do we talk about on here, guys?
We talk about everything, but we just do it from our perspective, which happens to be a faith perspective. Like, talk literally everything.
Right. A lot of love, a lot of laughter. So grab your coffee, your part, right? A bowl
Or
of
as
popcorn.
we say in the intro, your laundry basket.
That part, okay?
Yes.
And sit down and listen with us. So, Angie K, what are we talking about today?
Today we're going to kick off our season with faith in the gray areas.
All right.
I'm going to tell you, you guys, if you don't know, Angie K is the one who comes up with the topics, and she kind of gives us a little structure as to what we're going to be discussing. And let me just say that for season 4, she has come out swinging, okay?
Yes, she has.
Every topic, I'm like, what?
Well, I did a couple of not downer, but lighter topics.
Lighthearted.
A couple.
We'll see when they show up, but
Yes.
Good luck.
Right. But for today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be naming the gray, what creates gray areas, faith versus certainty, the spiritual middle, and when faith doesn't fit into boxes, and practicing faith in the gray. Now, guys, as always, we are going to see if we can put this into 30 minutes and go.
We're already behind.
Ooh. Yes, we are.
So let's see, guys. When you hear faith in the gray, what comes in your mind?
Immediately, first thing comes in my mind is the dark and the light mixing together.
Oh,
interesting.
That's interesting.
You want to say a little bit more about that?
Yeah,
or is that
maybe about the things that God is saying, the things that your mind is saying. So your mind is the dark, his voice is the light. And so somewhere in the middle, it feels like the gray, because it's all twirling around in your head and you're going, okay, God, I know you say this, but this is what I'm thinking. And so then you have to have that middle ground to see how God is going to work this out. He's got to win the battle. He's got to win into the light. That's just what, came to my mind. May have nothing to do with today, but it's what came to my mind.
Listen, I think I think she took the idea that I had like a little seed of an idea in my head, and then she like expounded on it like tremendously. Because all I was gonna say is like when you're unsure about things, like when you're uncertain, and then she like put all this extra stuff with it. That was great. So,
Well, all right.
Yeah.
Come, Holy Spirit.
I love it because I actually was kind of speaking to that on a post I made. And when you guys see this, that post will be long gone because it's in my story. So you won't even be able to go
It's gone.
research it. But the point is that I feel like I was kind of speaking to that a couple of days ago in my stories. And so I can definitely relate to what you guys are talking about. I don't know. So in my mind, like kind of what I envision, because when I think about riding with Jesus, right? That I always picture myself like going out into the vast of an ocean. And if you've ever been on the ocean in any kind of capacity, if you've ever flown over the ocean, if you've seen a video of the ocean, then you know that there's a certain point of the ocean that you can get out in where you do not know where you are.
oh
Like,
yes,
unless you have a compass, you're not able to
Yes.
say, this is
It's
north,
good.
south, east, and west. And then I'm not talking about looking up to the stars. I'm talking about just the body of water itself, right?
Mhm.
And so that's what I think about when I think about the gray, because in those spaces, I'm normally like, well, I'm out here now. So
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
there's no
And,
turning back.
and,
Go
yeah.
and
ahead,
I
Mama
just want to
Bear.
add something really quickly is that if you can see us, you may not be able to see us, but I have on a black top. Dr. Melody has on a black top. Angie Kay has on a gray top. Dr. Melody, you needed to have on a white top so that we could represent the light, the dark, and the gray.
Now, why couldn't
Well,
you wear the white top?
Because I don't have one.
and I'm gonna tell you, I almost put on the white top for this
See,
episode. You're
see,
gonna see
see?
it in a different episode, but
were
literally,
you
I almost
listening to the
did.
spirit?
I
I'm
think
telling
this is
you.
the gray. You know what I'm saying? Where maybe I was supposed to wear the white, but I chose the black.
Your
Ooh.
mind was like, no.
It was a battle going
Really,
on.
really, what ended up happening was I was running late for recording, and I
Oh,
started grabbing the
well,
outfits right for the
Yeah.
recording, and I just threw on the black. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
I think like maybe if I had slowed down a little bit or
Oh, that's good. This
been
is
willing
good.
to,
and
I'm telling you, that's why
yeah,
I'm sharing
yeah,
it,
yeah.
right? Been
Hmm.
willing to just say, okay, let me take a deep breath. God, what are you saying? Or even when I thought about that white shirt, God, what do you want done with this? Because
See?
to be quite honest, the white shirt was not even originally selected. Originally, I selected a gray, a black, and a green. And then I remembered the white shirt. It wasn't even something that was out there. I remembered the white shirt and I went
Oh,
looking for it. I
Yeah.
found it. And I was like, oh, I'll just bring all four. We'll see how this works. And
huh.
so the fact that that even came in my mind, the fact that I even went to look for it and found it, and if you've seen my clothes, that's a miracle. And then and you know what I mean? And so like slowing down and letting God have space to say, hey, this is what really should have happened. I think we should
Uh,
pause and I put on the white shirt. I'm teasing about that, but okay.
Hmm.
Man, I hope
Uh-huh.
y'all have been
Okay.
like reading between the lines in this conversation, like because this is
Yeah.
actually super rich.
It really is. And I'm glad you brought this in, Dr. Melody, the part you brought in, because I'm sure the people who couldn't see us actually at first was saying, we don't care what color shirt you wear.
And they might have been.
Yes, yes. But I don't know. One thing I will say is that I am so grateful that we serve a God who is okay with the gray. And
Yeah.
what I mean by that is he creates space for it because I believe that that's part of our humanness. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so, like
Well,
some of us are very, oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to interject in the middle?
oh, I was just going to say you just wrapped up my final saying to people. So guys at the end, that's mine.
Okay. Oh, we're just all wild today.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you. But I'm saying some people really get into that black and white thinking, and I think I even do that at times. I don't know that I'm a staunch black and white thinker, but I think I do as well. But having space for that middle area of growth, because that's kind of like the area that you can either grow in or you can decide that you're not. You know what I mean? And so I don't
Mhm.
know. I love the fact that God makes room for the gray.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr.
Oh.
Melanie.
Why do you guys think
Okay.
that we're uncomfortable admitting uncertainty in faith spaces?
Oh, I think a lot of it has to do with religion. I think like
Mhm.
we've been taught that we need to have 100% faith. You need to be completely certain of what's going on and have complete belief in the Lord or whatever. But
Mhm.
I don't know that that's true because I feel like the Lord, like you all were saying, He makes room for your grace. He makes room for your doubts. And you know, I just think back to Thomas, and you know, Thomas after the Lord was resurrected, you know, he was like, "Listen, I don't really believe this is you," which I can understand, Thomas. It would be a little strange.
Yeah.
You saw somebody die, they come back. You've never seen that before. Okay, I get it. So, you know, Thomas is like, I don't really believe this is you. I need to put my hands in the holes in your hand, the holes in your side. And the thing is, Jesus never scolds Thomas. He's never like,
Mhm.
"How dare you?" You know, he doesn't do that.
Yes,
But
I
he
am.
right. But he makes space for Thomas, and he actually gives Thomas
Mhm.
this beautiful interaction with him where he allows Thomas to touch the resurrected. You know, and I think that's a beautiful space. Now, he does say, "Hey, it would have been good if you did believe without having to do
Mhm.
this." And so,
Mhm.
yeah, it is good if you can just, you know, have that faith all the time,
Mhm.
but you don't have to.
Yeah. That's true. And I just was thinking about what you're talking about, Thomas. I'm sure that some of the other ones might have felt the same way.
I
But
know,
Thomas was
right?
the Thomas
Facts.
one who spoke it
Facts.
out. And I was just thinking about unspoken uncertainty. Sometimes it turns into shame. So if they were actually feeling
Oh,
that and not speaking it, it could have turned into shame the way it does with us sometimes. But when we speak it out and say, I'm not certain about this, God, He already knows, but or even tell somebody else, I'm not certain about this or something like that. This is actually an act of courage. That was an act
yeah.
of
Come on.
course on
That's
Thomas' part.
good. All right.
Hmm.
Yes,
Come
so
with it, Mama
good.
Bear.
So good. And I think of a couple things. One thing I think about is how, like, even in our churches, right, in our Christian communities, they used to have that saying, faith it until you make it, right?
Yes.
And I get it, it's nice, it's cute, it's you know what
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
it's catchy, but I don't think it's real. You know what I'm saying? I think it promotes inauthenticity from people. And the truth is that all of us have to grow in whatever we're doing,
Yeah.
including faith.
Yes.
Okay. And I was actually just talking to somebody today about this, and that person, when he was speaking to me, he was saying, like, he referenced the term failure, like, when I'm failing at something. And I told him that I really don't think that God looks at it like failure. I feel like God likens it more like, when a baby begins to walk. And when a baby begins to walk, when the baby falls down, as grown-ups, we don't say, "Oh, that baby failed." You know what I
Right.
mean? Because it fell.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We're just like, "Oh, wow, look, come on, get up, try again." You know what I mean? Because we know
Mhm.
that they're in the process of learning how to walk. And here's
Yeah.
the real catcher, right? Even when that baby gets big and it walks really well and it runs really well, if the baby falls, the big person falls, we don't say, "Oh, they failed at that walking thing." You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't.
Right.
We
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
We don't. We make sure they're okay. We get them back up and we say, "Get back on the horse." You know what I'm saying? And even if you get to your older age and you fall, right? We
Mhm.
still don't say that was failure. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's
And I
good.
really think that that's how God looks at our growth process. I don't think that He looks at it like, "Oh, they have failed at something," more like they are growing in something.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. That's really
Dr.
good.
Melanie, that is so good. I was when you were doing it, I was thinking about how the fact that with the baby, we say, "Oh, they're still learning. God's still forming them," and it's the same thing with
Mm-hmm.
us when have grown up and in the spiritual realm or something like that. And what we need to think is instead of "I should have known by now." That was a big
Mm.
one with me.
Yeah.
I'm 100 years old. I
Yes.
should know better than this by now. And God is saying to me, "I'm still forming you."
Yeah.
Come on.
That's
Come
good.
Mm,
on. And age has
that's so
nothing
good.
to do with it. Okay.
No,
Oh, it really doesn't.
no.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I always encourage people, ask God, how does he view that? And then try to
Hmm.
align your view with his, because
Yes,
his
yes,
vision is perfect, right? We're still
yeah.
we're still trying to get there. What
And
do you guys
I'm
think? Oh,
I'm
I'm sorry, go
sorry.
ahead,
I just
Mama
have to
Viv.
say one more thing about this because I think this is so
This is
good.
our
Uh,
topic.
it must be, and I thought I had nothing to say. That's what's so funny. But but anyway, and if, I think he would probably remind us about him being in Gethsemane. And
Mm,
when he was in the gray part, what desire and obedience. My
Yeah.
desire
mm-hmm,
is not to drink the cup, but yet I'm going to be obedient. That was a gray area right
Yeah.
there.
mm,
Mhm.
come
And
on.
if he can have
And
gray
so if
areas,
We
I
certainly
come
can
can
on,
too.
too.
come
Hmm.
on, come on. So what do we think creates those gray areas? What happens?
Uh, you have so many expectations in life. We expect one thing and life lives.
Yeah. Yep,
And
yep,
when
yep,
I say
yep.
life lives, I mean things go completely left. You lose jobs, people die. You don't. You lose friendships or change where you're working. All kind of things create gray
Yeah.
areas.
Yeah, that's true. And
Uh,
sometimes even our church, what they teach,
Ah,
mm,
teaching that we should be a certain way, that our faith is so strong that we won't have gray areas, okay? But we
come
do.
on.
We do have gray areas, and it's okay.
Right.
It's okay.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Or even teaching that if something doesn't go the way you expected it to go, that it was because of your lack of faith, that you
come
needed
on.
more
Yeah.
faith, right,
Yeah.
to make
Yes,
this
yes,
happen, right?
yes. Hmm.
And go ahead, Mama Bill.
I was going to say, and can I say that this is not my church, but some churches are like that.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I was about to play into it, y'all. Let me pull myself
Pull
back.
back. Oh, Lord.
Okay. But also what I will say that creates those gray areas too is I was talking about how like when God invites us into something that he wants to do with us, right? And many times we have expectations set up around how that's going to go. We have plans on how that's going to go.
Yeah.
And God's plans may not align with ours. His expectations may not align with ours. And so when things start, shifting in a good way, that also creates uncertainty for us because we have rested our stuff in our own thoughts and our own plans and our own desires. And so that also is a place of uncertainty. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it is, right? And so that's something that can happen for us as well. But let's shift over to faith versus certainty. How do you
Oh, good.
distinguish between the two?
Can can I just go ahead and say something?
Sure.
We're gonna give this
Uh,
podcast over to Mama Viv today.
I
well,
know, right?
I feel like when we think about certainty, I think we think about seeking predictability, things like that that can be predictable. But when we think about faith, it's more like practicing surrender. Okay, I
Mm,
surrender to this. But when we think about I'm going to walk in certainty, then we say, well, this is predictable. But faith, it's just a matter of surrender. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's
yeah.
going to happen. You're just going to believe it. You're going to trust it. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm almost like, why do we need to distinguish between faith and certainty? Like,
Mm,
Because so yeah, the road to different things is probably not going to look the way that you thought it was going to look.
Mm,
That's most things in life. I think if you ask
true.
anybody, most people will
True.
say the road looks different than I would have thought that it looked, right? But my certainty is in God, okay? So even
Oh,
though the road looks different,
mm,
God never looks
come
different,
on.
right? And so it's like, why do we need this certainty about the road? Why do we need
Right.
Yes.
this?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And when I thought about it, I was thinking about the definition of faith, right? Which is like the
Mm,
things unseen, right? The things hoped for. And so it
mm,
kind of aligns with what you guys are saying. It's like, okay, I may not be able to see this and I may need to hope for it because I don't see it, but it's just I believe because I choose to believe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And then my certainty also, like you, Angie K, was like in God, because I was thinking, what am I certain of? And I know this is not for everyone, y'all. Just roll with me,
go
okay?
ahead.
But there are
Roll.
many times where I am very certain about the voice of God. I know that I know that I know He has spoken something, right? And then there are times where I am like, God, who was that? Was that you or me? You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I have
Hmm.
to kind of figure it out. And so I feel like I'm, you know, partnering in the things that you guys are saying. Like certainty is those things that you just don't even have to question. And typically those things for me come from the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But faith are those things that we choose to put our belief in, we choose to put our
Hmm.
trust in. And yes, you may not be able to stick your stump your flag into this is how it's going to, play out, but I still believe that God is who he says he is. I still believe that he's going to do what he says he's going to do. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's
That kind
good.
of
Yeah.
thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it reminded me of someone who said, I think they said like faith is not the absence of doubt, but it's choosing to trust when you doubt.
That part.
Mm, yeah.
That part.
And
That's what that reminded me of.
that takes me to the man in Mark 9. The man, his son has this evil spirit, right? And he's asking the Lord to heal the baby
Hmm.
or the child, whatever. And the Lord is like, basically like if you have the faith or something like that. He's like, if you believe or whatever. And then the guy is like, listen, I believe, but you need to help my unbelief, right? And so,
That
Come on.
part. That
That's
so
part.
our
it's
prayer all
like,
the time.
yeah, so the man is basically saying, like, yeah, I believe you, but I'm also pretty unsure. So I need
Hmm.
you to help the unsure part, okay?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. It's so real.
That's
So what
so good,
what do
guys.
we do, guys? How do we navigate that space, the middle part, right? The space between prayer and outcome.
Um,
Mm,
I think it's important to remember what you know about the Lord, right? So
yes,
I think
yes.
you need to rehearse your certainties. So
Mm,
it's certain for me that He's good. It's
so
certain for
good.
me that all things work together for my good because I love Him and I'm called according to His purpose. It's certain to me that
Mm,
the Lord has never failed me. It's certain to me that the Lord has never lied to me. So I
yeah.
rehearse the certainties. And so, yeah, that doesn't mean that in the in between I'm all like, yay, flowers and unicorns and rainbows. No, some days in the in between I have a tear or a bucket of tears. You know what I'm saying? But in the bucket, I'm rehearsing
Hmm.
the certainties.
Hmm. And I would say that if we can just focus more on the fact that in the middle, in the gray, is where our character is formed,
Yeah.
and focus more on that than the circumstances that we're going through.
That part, I'm telling you, I'm so big on growth right now. But I will say that getting through the middle part, one is allowing yourself to be human and have the emotions of a human. Okay.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
being honest about the fact that you
Yeah.
have those emotions. Like Mama Viv brought up the Garden of Gethsemane. One of the things about Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane is that he was experiencing real life emotions about something that was going to be really, really hard. And it
Hmm.
wasn't like, oh, I'm a little sad. It was, no, I'm in anguish.
Ah,
Okay. He
Yeah.
was sweating
yeah.
blood. Okay.
Yes.
And And how did he handle that? What he did is he was honest about the fact that he felt that way, and he went to his friends for help, and he went to his father in heaven for help. He asked his
Mhm.
friends to pray for him, and he told his dad the truth about what he felt. And
Yes.
then God actually sent angels to minister to him. And here's the thing, this is the real kicker for me. He didn't send an angel and then Jesus was like, I'm all good, Dad. Thanks. What happened is he went back and said, I'm still in anguish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just say
You
thanks for the
got me.
angels, but
He
I'm
was like,
still right here.
I need some more help. Okay.
Yeah.
And God had to send angels three times. Three
Yeah.
times, okay, for Jesus to get strengthened enough to be able to say, "Okay, your will, God.
Mhm.
I,
Yeah.
I can walk this out with you." And so
Wow.
that tells us that it is okay to be honest about how you feel.
Mhm.
And even
Mhm.
though God sends things, people, whatever, to strengthen you, it's okay to be honest if you don't
Mhm.
feel like you are strengthened enough,
Mhm.
even after God has sent something,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, on your behalf,
Yeah.
and to
That's
just
good.
continue to meet yourself where you are
Mhm.
honestly with your community and with God, and let
Mhm.
God strengthen you in that process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I want to say something from for the other side where if you're the person that goes to strengthen and you
Come
don't
on.
feel like the person was strengthened when you went to strengthen, just know the angels came and he still needed more help. And I'm just saying that because sometimes, as you minister, you feel like that and
Yeah.
everything, but just
Mm-hmm.
know that God is still working on it and it's not your job to make it come to fruition. Your job is to go, and I'm going to quickly say this, but I was just thinking about Jesus, they sent the angels who say that didn't work. He probably, now this is just me. He probably said, Father, I need you. And he's like,
Yeah.
I'm sending some more angels, or else I need you to change what the will is. But he knew that wasn't going to happen, so it ended up in obedience. Okay, I'm finished. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I, I also just want to add a quick thing about the in between. The in between is an invitation, okay? Because
Mm.
as with any relationship, when you're in this place of uncertainty or heightened emotions or unmet
Yes.
expectations, you can either press into the relationship or you can pull
Mhm.
away from the
Come on.
relationship. And so it's
Oh,
an
man.
invitation for you to press into the Lord.
Yes.
And
Yes.
sometimes that can feel hard for some people. Sometimes that can feel hard for
Yeah.
me. But you
Hmm.
can make a decision to do hard things. There's a quote that I like, and it's choose your heart, right? If you pull away from God, it's going to be hard. If you press into God in the heart, in the
Yes.
tough times, it's probably going to feel hard too. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to have a better outcome pressing in than you will pulling away.
For
So good,
certain.
so
For
good. And
sure.
we've already kind of transitioned into like how do we rethink or reframe this, right? So that we can get to a mature side of thinking. And I'm right there with Angie K. And the
Hmm.
way I would say it is it's opportunities for growth, right? It's opportunities to
Yes.
grow with God, right?
Yeah.
To grow with
Yes.
God.
Yes.
And so yeah, choose your hard.
Yeah,
Mhm.
buddy.
So good. I just have to say I agree.
um,
Okay. Ooh, okay. So let us hit on practicing faith in the gray, right? How do we typically practice this? Like, for example, how do we choose trust without timelines? Because I think a lot of times, I'll just say for me, I am prophetic, and so God talks to me about the future many times, but typically when He's talking to me about the future, it's not always like this is going to happen in the next 30 seconds or this is going to happen on tomorrow. Many times when he's talking to me about the future, it is a prolonged future. And so I'm waiting to see something play out that God has spoken. And but as people, we tend to want to put timelines on things, right? We tend to want to say it's going to happen in this space. So how do we navigate trusting without adding those timelines as people?
I hear you. I feel like saying that we chase future clarity instead of
Mm.
practicing everyday intimacy with Jesus. When
yeah.
we practice
So good.
intimacy with Jesus, that's when we get in the sweet spot. with Jesus. And he began to tell us things that will blow our minds. For me, once I do that, the rest does not matter.
Yeah. The scripture that came to me is right in line with what Mama Viv is saying. It's the one where the Lord tells you not to worry about tomorrow because today has enough troubles of its own.
Yes.
And so it's like, okay, yeah, there may be some things that you want to happen in the future or that the Lord has even promised you are going to happen in the future. But you have to really do your best to try not to worry about when those things are going to happen. And sometimes it's not even a matter of worrying in a sense, a negative way. Like sometimes you're just excited about what's going to take place. But hey, focus, like Mama Viv said, on the today, because today has enough troubles of its own. Today has enough responsibilities also of its own. And your responsibility today is to just get closer to Jesus, and then the things just unfold.
Yeah, and if you're a reader,
go ahead, Mama Viv.
and if you're a reader, if you're a reader, then, search out those scriptures about the character of God. And once you start reading about the characters, you know that he's going to come through. You can relax in it and be okay, and it'll give you strength and encouragement.
And what I was going to say is that when you do start focusing on the day, yes, there are responsibilities, troubles, or whatnot, but it also slows you down so that you have time to smell the roses, right? And what I mean by that is it is such a sweet, beautiful experience to get close to God, to get to know him better, to grow with him, to connect with him. And so when we're so focused on outcome, we bypass that process. And so slowing down and being okay with being in the moment helps you to be able to experience that, cherish that, and to hold on to it. So, guys, we
That's
have come to
good.
my fate. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mama.
And-
She got a lot to
and-
say, y'all. She got a lot to say.
I don't know what's happening. And one way of slowing things down is journaling. Write a letter to God, telling him exactly how you feel. That works for some people. All right, go ahead.
Yes, it does. Okay. So, we have come to my favorite time. We get to encourage our audience, our listeners, our BFFs. So guys, what is a word of encouragement that you would give to our listeners about being in the gray?
Well, I would just say that God makes room for your gray. Isn't that what you were trying to say, Mama Viv? At the beginning, she said that was her word.
Yeah, that was my word.
I'm totally joking because she said that was her word. My actual encouragement is that the presence of God matters more than being certain about a thing.
Oh, I love that. I should have went last.
I'm
going to say, you've already said. Go ahead, Mama Viv. I'm going to let you have it. Go ahead.
That the gray is not like I don't know, like a detour, but it is often the path.
I love that. And I'm just going to say it's okay to meet yourself where you're at because Jesus did.
Come on.
Okay.
Say you were supposed to go last.
I don't know. So, guys, the gray isn't the absence of God. It's often where he does his deepest work. Where are you currently living in the gray, and what might God be forming in you there? Okay. We want to hear
you
from
are not
guys.
behind, you are becoming.
Well.
Okay.
Somebody doesn't want this show to be over.
No, we want to hear from you guys. Please tell us about your
people. I'm
becoming
sorry.
process.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Let us know about your gray areas and how God has strengthened you.
Please.
Angie K, what are we talking about in the next episode?
Okay, so we're going to move from the gray area to unanswered prayers. And we're going to have an honest conversation. I know, right? So we're going to have an honest conversation about disappointment, delay, and the way that God is still working, even when the answer seems to be no or not yet.
How exciting.
Y'all pray for us.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
Okay, bye, friends. It was good to talk to you. See you next week.
That's another episode of Are We on Topic Yet from the Wild Wonder Collective.
If today made you laugh or feel a little more seen,
Go ahead and hit subscribe, share it with a friend, and leave us a review.